joined today by Andrew Reid, Managing Director of Brazilian Critical Minerals. Andrew, thanks for your time.
Thanks for inviting me, David.
For those who don't know much about rare earths, why is it so important that the Emma project in Brazil is hosted in ionic clays?
I think what's one of the big misnomers about the rare earth sector is that there is obviously lots of projects that come out of what we call hard rock deposits. But in actual fact, the most common method of extracting rare earths comes from ionic clays. And these deposits predominate in Southeast Asia, where there are literally hundreds of these projects up and running as we speak right now, generating something like about 30 or 40% of the world's rare earth inventory. So to have a project like Emma, which is the only one in the Western world that can apply this in situ leaching technology, I think is a big coup for the Western world that can feed into an ex-China supply chain.
And you've recently achieved a 200-fold increase in recoveries in lab testing. What does that mean in your path to production?
I think what's clear over the last 12 to 18 months is that the Emma project has consistently achieved really good metallurgical results. This 200-fold increase was for downstream processing through to a refining stage that we certainly are interested in and looking at, but it's really a path for the future. Right now, we are really solely focused on getting this project up and running, bringing it into development as fast as we can.
As you said, China dominates rare earth supply and production. How does this project fit into a Western ideal, if you like, to take hold of its own destiny when it comes to rare earths?
Here we go. Yeah, look, everybody knows that China dominates the sector, and that's pretty clear. What's not so clear at the moment is that there's not a lot of available rare earth products in the Western world that can supply into the Western market, which is gathering pace in terms of its downstream supplying expertise very rapidly. We are now very well positioned to take advantage of that as one of the really few projects that has the opportunity in the near term to come into production. Over the next 12 months, our real focus is to finish our feasibility study, which is going to be released this quarter. We're talking with the regulators about our permits. We are in really good discussions with offtake agreements and offtake partners, and we certainly want to start looking at the finance arrangements for this project with really the view to fast track this project and bring it online as quick as possible.
This is one of the world's largest rare earth projects. Apart from scale, why is this project so compelling?
You look at the numbers that we put out in our scoping study last year, it's really clear. We are the Western world's lowest capex rare earth project. We sit in the very lowest quartile of the cost curve. Now, those numbers then generate to very high MPVs, our IRRs over 55%. The uniqueness of this project shouldn't be underestimated. When you look at what we're doing and developing, there is no open pit mines, there's no dump trucks, there's no waste dumps, there's no mining equipment, there's no tailings dams. We've completely eliminated that entire cost center from our financial model, which means and which relates to a very, very low operating cost and makes it very attractive to be able to finance and bring online quickly.
You've recently raised fresh capital. Where's that money going, and what should investors be focused on from the company over the next 12 months?
Yeah, look, we are really on the cusp now of, we've got some really major re-rating milestones sitting right in front of us over the remaining part of this year. Like I mentioned, the feasibility study, we want to get that out this quarter. We are very well advanced. It's more than 80% complete as we sit here right now. The permits, we are certainly expecting them to have a positive outcome there before the end of the year. I've just come out of a big road trip through the US. The sentiment, talking with potential offtake partners around the details of taking our product into the Western supply chain, and then really to crack on with raising the capital. The scoping study was $55 million only. That's 10 to 20 times lower than any other rare earth project on the planet. And like I said, it's one of the few projects that really does have an opportunity to be able to come online as a simple, low-risk product and project that can deliver product quite quickly into the Western market. That's what makes it attractive. That's why people really like this project, and that's what we're focused on right now in delivering.
A fascinating story right at the centre of the critical minerals sector, the critical minerals discussion globally. Andrew, we thank you for your time and we'll follow with interest.
Yeah, thank you very much, David.